was truly magnificent. She was able to use these machines to be able to plow her land and grow her coffee. Then, after drying it, she transported it with those wagons that were pulled by around 20 oxen. Isn't that just so many? She must have had a lot of animals. Then, to be able to maneuver around her land, she went onto her tractor. Those are so many machines that she was using back in the 1920s. Why don't we go see what else she did in the 1920s and see her house and the paintings that are in there.
So I'm going to show you some of the art that she did, some of the paintings that she did. Over here we have one of the sample of the painting that she did.
It's beautiful.
Of a guy by the name of Abdullah. Abdullah was from Somalia.
And who was he to her? Like a local?
Was one of the guys that worked for Karen in the house. And Abdullah,
what did he do? Like
just house stuff, you know, taking care of the house and stuff like that. So he was a very intelligent guy. So Karen helped in educating him. He became a lawyer here in Kenya.
That's
and
fantastic.
He went to Somalia and pursued more of the studies and became the first judge in Somalia.
Wow, so she was able to be the one nurturing such an educated man?
Yeah.
That's great. And she also painted him.
Yes.
When I look at the painting, I can see it really like captures a lot. There's light, shadowing. You can tell she was really skilled at painting.
She was. Mostly the face and the eyes, you can see the mostly it's more of a picture than a painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really resembles like realism.
Yeah. I'll show you more of the art that she did. Oh, this is a picture of her. This is not a painting, it's a
so
picture of her.
this is Karen herself?
This is Karen. This picture was taken in the year 1919. That's just 2 years after moving into this house. She had an Irish wolfhound as a pet in the house. This was a gift from the husband, a wedding gift.
So she got a dog for her wedding gift?
Yeah, that's 1914 during the wedding. This is another art done by her, of a lady by the name of Njeri. Njeri also worked for Karen in the house.
So she did housework just like Abdullah?
Yes, exactly. And Njeri was considered to be one of the most beautiful ladies in the entire piece of land. You know, during that time, to get married, the beauty helped, and you had to pay dowry.
Yeah, so
and
it could help you get more?
Yeah, and because she was very pretty, the parents demanded for the highest bride price. You know, triple the one that normal people could get.
Wow.
For her, you had to pay 250 goats.
A whole 250?
50 goats. And then you had to find a big pot of honey too.
Wow.
So
she was that pretty that she was that valuable?
So that idea intrigued Karen so much that she decided to paint at Njeri.
And you can really see how she's captured her beauty, you know?
Yeah. From the face, just like the one of Abdullah, that can show that she was a talented painter.
Yeah, it can.
Yes.
All her studies in art really paid off.
Yeah. And apart from study, she loved painting a lot. Yeah, it was her passion. So adding with the studies, she became quite good. Yeah.
So she basically always wanted to paint, and this is really the results of her work.
Yeah. So I will proceed to the house and I'll show you more of the paintings.
Okay.
This was the Baron's bedroom. It was also known as the Antas room. This is where Baron Bob Blixen stayed in during the time when Karen and Baron were still together. And after the separation, Dennis Finchaton also stayed in the room until when Karen left Kenya to go back to Denmark. This was her living room. It was the entertainment room where she could receive her friends and guests and entertain them before they proceeded to other businesses.
The structure of it is really interesting. It's not just square, there's like the fireplace.
Yeah, the fireplace to warm the house. And we have high ceilings to make the house cool. It helps in cooling the house too. And the floor, it's made out of cedar. Local cedar. You know, cedar wood is a repellent of termites. So
so she didn't get termites?
It cannot be chewed by termites. That's why it has survived this long.
So this is the original floor?
Yes, it is.
Oh my. What about that rug? Is it
A
like an
leopard
actual?
skin. You know, the husband was a hunter, so the leopard skin, it's not the original from that time, but it's a leopard skin. Representation that the people who lived here were hunters. We got this from the National Museums of Kenya.
That's
Just
so
for
cool.
display.
Yeah. So this is an actual leopard skin, and like it's displayed in the house to show that they were hunters.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. What other
So
rooms
we'll
can we go
proceed
into?
to her bedroom.
Okay. Even just looking at it, I can see it's beautiful.
This was her master bedroom. You know, because they were royalty, that's a baron and a baroness.
Yeah.
Thus they had to have different rooms.
So she's the one who slept in here?
She's the one who slept here, but the husband could visit.
Ah.
That's how it operated then. Yeah.
So is this also a
That
real...
is as well a real leopard skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this whole house is really just immortalizing the fact that they were hunters,
Yeah,
right?
part of it because they were hunters.
But it also looks very regal, you know? You could see the royalness.
Yeah, exactly.
The room itself, the color scheme of it is really...
Bright.
Yeah.
It's a reddish room, you know, being the bedroom.
Yeah. Is like a lot of the stuff in here the actual original stuff that was there?
Most of the stuff in here, the original. Like the leopard skin, it's not the original, you know, it's a donation from the National Museums.
Yeah.
Just to show that.
Yeah. What about maybe the bed and that chest?
These are the original stuff.
Wow.
But the beddings, you know, we have to clean them from time to time, so
Yeah.
they are not the original. We change them.
Yeah.
The chest, it is the original
Wow.
that she used when it's like a suitcase.
Oh, so she used to put
When
like
traveling,
Ah.
to carry the belongings.
Wow. Which room is next?
We'll have a look at the washrooms. This is the washroom that was used during that time. The wooden toilet box. The wooden toilet box itself, it's not a long drop.
Oh.
There was a door connecting the back side of the house, although now we've closed it, it's not there anymore. So there's a bucket had to be connected from the back. Then the waste was pulled and then disposed outside.
So it wasn't like a deep pit? Or
No. They had a pit outside where they could dispose the waste. And then the thin bathtub. The kitchen was also separate from the house. Water was warmed from the kitchen, then brought
and then
over
brought
here.
here.
After they are done taking the bath, the water was disposed also outside.
The bathtub is metal. Would that have caused like any problem?
Now they had to know now to regulate the temperature of the water.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe you could cook in there if it's too hot.
Too hot with the metal and everything. Yeah, it wasn't safe, so they had to regulate the temperature of the water that they were using. Yeah, and the bone jar, that's what was used as a sink.
To wash their hands?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we're currently in the dining room because I can see this beautiful table.
Yeah, exactly. This was the dining room, the biggest room in the entire house.
You can tell.
This is where she could dine with her friends and guests when they visited her here. Have you heard of King Edward?
Yes.
The one that abdicated the throne of England just before becoming the king, when he was still a Prince of Wales. They visited over here and dined here. We have a sample of a menu that was used during that time.
Wow.
So a lot of famous people visited the place.
So this place is really historic and many royals have visited, haven't they?
Yes.
Wow.
So we have the paintings that you see all around. These were some of the art that were done by her.
So there's more of them other than the ones you showed us?
Other than the ones that we saw outside.
Wow.
There are more of them inside the house.
And I've seen that the whole floor is hardwood, like throughout the entire house.
Yeah, the entire house, the floor is made out of local cedar.
So none of the house could be eaten up, right?
By termites.
By termites, yeah.
And then the walls were made out of mahogany. Mahogany wood. Mahogany wood is also a hardwood. It can stay for a long time.
Wow. The house really is beautiful.
Next we'll be proceeding to see her study room.
I wonder if she wrote any of her books in there.
No, she didn't. But she wrote some of the manuscripts that were later on converted into the books back at home.
Magnificent.
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
Okay. I've actually read somewhere that Karen herself loved trees and loved nature.
Yeah, she did. She loved trees and flowers also. There is even a book that is written about how she used to arrange flowers just in the house. And we even have a sample of trees that she planted here.
She planted these herself?
Yeah, they are wild date palm trees. She planted them in the year 1917, the same year she bought this house and moved into it.
So these are 100 years old?
They're 104 years old.
104, wow.
She got the seeds from a botanical garden in Durban, South Africa.
So these are South African trees? Basically?
No, they're not South African trees. They are from Brazil, but she got the seeds from South Africa.
Ah, okay. It's so tall.
They still do produce dates.
Wow. So the fact that it's been growing for 100 years, it still hasn't like died?
It hasn't. It has a lifespan of 150 years old.
Oh, so
with
it still has some
104,
time to go?
it still has some years to go. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so from here we are going to proceed to the kitchen.
Okay.
The kitchen was separated from the main house to reduce fire risks.
Ah.
You can see the floors and the walls of the house are made out of wood.
So it could really burn, right?
Yes. So Karen herself, she had a basic first aid treatment knowledge, so that's how she could help the local people with treatment. Mostly that's before we come to medication and opening of hospitals.
Yeah.
This is where the treatment will happen during that time. So every day in the morning hours, she told the local people, anybody who wasn't feeling well, they could come for treatment over.
And she would like help them?
Yeah, exactly. She loved this spot a lot because of the nice view it had to the Ngong Hills.
Ah, so she could just sit here and look over to the hills?
Yeah, and see the Ngong Hills. You know, Denmark itself is fairly flat.
Ah, so she was interested in hills, right?
Yeah, saying that. Yeah, exactly.
So she used to just bring the people here and like help them with her first aid skills, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's all that we have to see about the house of Karen Blixen Museum. I hope you've enjoyed your view around.
Yeah, we got to see where she lived and everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. So next we are going to see a sample of a machine that she used in drying the coffee. Although it's not the original machine. It was brought here by the Universal Pictures in the year 1985 when they were filming the movie.
Oh, then let's go see it.
So this is a sample of the coffee drying machine that the brother helped in constructing. That's Karen's brother from the year 1921 to 1923 when the brother visited here. However, this is not the original. It was brought here in the year 1985 by the Universal Pictures when filming the movie.
So this was actually in the movie?
Yeah, this is what was used in the movie.
Oh, how does it work?
So the process of coffee, after harvesting coffee, the berries, they were sorted to remove the dirt. Then after that, passed through the pulping machine to separate the outer pulp from the inner beans. Then after separating the inner beans, you know, the inner beans, they still have some sugar in it. They were fermented for 24 hours to remove sugar. Then after that, they were put inside a bigger container, that's the drying machine, to dry it.
How long did it take to dry it?
It also took 24 hours.
So this was a very long process.
Yeah, 48, that's 48 hours, 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, it was better than using the sun. For the sun, you have to dry coffee for 21 days.
Oh.
Yeah, so the machines reduced the work load.
Ah.
Yeah.
So how do you work? Like you put it in here, then you put it there?
So this is the boiler.
Mm-hmm.
The downer compartment is filled with water. The upper compartment is filled, the downer compartment is for fire, sorry, the upper is for water. So the fire eats the water, then the steam
Is what?
moves over the other side. We have a blower. The blower helps in, that's pushing the steam to the bigger container where coffee is put.
So it steams the coffee or?
No, you see steam still contains some liquids in it. The funnels that you see over here were to get rid of the liquids from the steam so that the air that goes into the bigger container is warm, dry air.
Oh, so it can be able to dry the beans.
To dry the beans, and the bigger container will move all the way around for the beans to dry evenly. Yeah, exactly.
So this big machine is quite simple actually.
Yeah, it's quite simple.
Huh.
It wasn't just one machine. In the factory there were many machines.
Were they similar to this?
They were similar to this, exactly worked with the same principles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is a coffee tree, right?
Yeah, this is a coffee tree. It's
Is
the
it-
Arabica type.
Is it from when Karen was here? Did
No,
she
it's
plant it?
not from when Karen was here. It's a sample that we planted to show around. Yeah.
So this is the kind of trees that she used to plant in her farm.
These are the kind of coffee that she planted, the Arabica type. You can see the red ones; those are ready for harvesting.
But the green ones aren't.
The green ones are. Harvesting is done by hand picking, so you have to pick the red seeds out. Yeah.
Today, we've learned so much about Karen Blixen from the time when he was telling us a lot about her. And we got to see inside of her house and the machines used to get around her huge farm. We also got to see the nature trail and saw the factory, the machine that used to be inside of a factory. Can you believe that they actually filmed the movie with that very machine? That's so fascinating. We even got to learn about the coffee beans that she planted in her farm. Well, that's the end of our episode for today, and I'd like to thank Hefa for telling us so much about her and about this beautiful place. That's the end of today's episode. I was your host Audrey, and this is Nature's Journal. Goodbye!
Bye.